It's been over a decade since the YouTube Rewind series was birthed, and a lot has changed since then. I decided to revisit it out of nostalgia's sake, and couldn't help but feel like it has aged poorly with how some things have unfolded over the years. Which has led me to the question, how many cancelled YouTubers has been featured in YouTube Rewind? Although there are obvious YouTubers that have been cancelled, there have been so many things that people have brushed aside or just don't know about. I certainly didn't until I did a deep dive for this video. So let's check out what YouTube views should be cancelled with YouTubers. Wait, that needs a bit more punch.
Cancelled.
Ah, much better. Starting off with the year 2011. This year was just Rebecca Black counting down top viral videos on YouTube. She wasn't cancelled, but her song Friday was just so bad. I don't remember anyone unironically enjoying that song. Everything else featured in this video were one-off viral videos and didn't come from YouTubers, so I ain't including them. But I'm counting Rebecca Black because she's hosting the Rewind. So technically we're 1 from 1, a 100% cancel rate, baby! Woo! 1 year down and we're already off to a good start. "2012 almost had no controversial figures whatsoever. The only exception would have been Jenna Marbles. Although she was featured, she would not be cancelled until much later. Unsurprisingly, there were literally no cancelled YouTubers for this year. It's almost like the people that were on YouTube at this time were unproblematic because there were content creators that started creating on YouTube as a creative outlet without big incentivization of the green big buckaroonies that we need to survive. It was a simpler time back then, and it only starts going downhill from here.
2013? Let's do this.
Starting off with a big name, Tobuscus. Just a warning, this gets dark quickly with some assault allegations, so feel free to skip to the timestamp if you want to avoid hearing about this. These allegations were brought up by his ex, April Fletcher. This was a catalyst for other exes to speak up about it as well, which brought forth another 4 people, which was pretty damning. They all had differing views and experiences, but all talked about the same themes of Toby's interactions with drugs and things that happen in private in one-on-one situations. As these allegations were coming out, Tobuscus's views on his channel were already dipping due to less frequent posting and failing to adapting to the times. And so the controversy tied the boat together for him to dip as well. Ever since, he's been sporadically posting to his vlog channel and rarely posts to his main. He posted a video against these claims, but ultimately it was a he said she said moment and nothing could really be proved. The general consensus that's been made from his audience is that the original claims April made were exaggerated, but there was definitely some form of shady stuff going on, so people decided to stop watching him.
Cancelled.
Alison Gold. If you don't remember or know, she got the same terrible song treatment as Rebecca Black, made by the same producer, Patrice Wilson. It got worse after people reacted to Chinese food and started going after the producer that was manufacturing these terrible top hits. It got real weird when Patrice used Alison as a response to create another music video titled Shush Up, featuring her in skimpy outfits and doing not the most P-est of G dance moves. The real cancellation happened on Patrice, but I'm going to give it to Alison as the avatar of personifying his weird project ideas. Like, this shot in the music video. What is that? Why is this panda sitting in a dark corner with serial killer vibes going to be the supposed new friend? Contrary to her last name, this was going to be the opposite of her golden years.
Cancelled.
Magic of Rahat. The next YouTuber was a prank channel centered around magic that was able to raise $60,000 in GoFundMe money for a homeless person. But then he ran away with that money. You can never trust prank channels. This is what the community believed for years before Rahat came back a few years later to explain himself. After a homeless person that Rahat featured in one of his videos named Eric went viral, Rahat managed to raise and donate $60,000. Over time, Eric would start using these funds irresponsibly, even hiring out limos. Man thought he could jump from the bottom 1% to the top 1% with $60K and could destroy a YouTuber's goodwill that got him there. Let alone cancelling a YouTuber, Eric almost cancelled a life.
I've thought about ways to just kind of end it all, and thought, what is the easiest way to just go? One day, one of my friends messaged me explaining, hey, did you know that there is a documentary about you? I ended up watching the documentary that was made by J-Law, Jay and Trey, I want to say, probably saved my life. At that point, I knew I had a fighting chance.
Revoke 1 from the cancel counter. Hashtag justice for Rahat. Fortunately, after explaining his side of the story, he was able to come back to YouTube and start posting videos again. My favorite YouTuber, Cookie Monster. There were some misinformed tweets spreading rumors that Cookie Monster was going to be turned into Veggie Monster. This didn't actually happen, but it warranted a response from the Cookie Monster, from the official Sesame Street Twitter account. This was a case of people being silly, but I'll take it as a cancel. Annoying Orange. It gives me great joy and pride to tell you it got cancelled. Literally, like the TV show about him was cancelled. Thank God. I know it's a technicality, but I'm running with it.
Now who's gonna stop me?
That brings us to 4 cancelled YouTubers out of the 56 featured. I know this year was a bit more lighthearted and slow, but it'll get exponentially worse throughout their video, I promise. On to 2014! Michelle Fan, one of the OG makeup YouTubers of the platform. You would think for a makeup YouTuber, she'd probably get into some form of drama or cancelling another YouTuber, but no, she joined a cult. 4 hours of sleep a day with no bathroom breaks. Michelle, I know you might think you're having an awakening transformative experience, but if anything, you're just being sleep deprived. Sure, 4 hours of sleep might be enough for you, but I'm sticking with what's considered normal. 6 hours of sleep, a soul-crushing alarm, and the biggest cup of coffee I can get. Also, considering Michelle's past actions, she made a cat litter mask for her face, and also spread misinformation that antiviral essential oils kill off viruses before they enter your system at the start of the COVID pandemic. I'm not very inclined in believing what you have to say.
Cancelled.
Sky Does Minecraft. Adam Sky Does Minecraft Dahlberg was a pioneer of the comedy Minecraft genre. Unfortunately, they also pioneered a list for themselves of allegations. This list includes cheating on the pregnant wife with minors, sexual and emotional abuse, child neglect, manipulating fans to send money for themselves, and using all their money to fund their drug addiction. God damn. Just reading that list out loud felt like it was darker and longer than a Backrooms video. Jay Aubrey made a huge documentary about everything that transpired if you wanted the deets, but it is quite heavy. Sky Does Minecraft was able to build up a YouTube channel about building, but it seems like the one thing they weren't able to build was a moral compass. And deservedly?
Cancelled.
They even went after my boy Big Bird. He was cancelled by conservatives after encouraging kids to get vaccinated. Leave him alone, otherwise he might not leave you alone. Everyone's favorite late night talk show host, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't even want to explain it, this just needs the entire clip in itself.
You know, Michael, she's 15, so you can't sit her at the bar. So his solution to that was to then have me dancing underneath a waterfall getting soaking wet.
Perfectly wholesome?
At 15, I was in 10th grade, so that's sort of a microcosm of how Bay's mind works.
Yeah, well, that's really a microcosm of how all our minds work, but some of us have the decency to repress those thoughts and pretend that they don't exist.
Right.
That's a big Freudian slip if I've ever heard one.
Cancelled.
A quick summary of 2014, we only had 4 cancelled people out of the featured 66. These are rookie numbers.
In this racket.
We gotta keep pumping them up. FouseyTube, another OG prank YouTuber, popularly known for his Mortal Kombat in Elevator series and yoga prank videos. His channel started to go downhill once it was found out that he faked his pranks.
Let's go, Uber! Get out! Alright, that should be good.
Hey, I'm Shane Barbera. I was in FouseyTube's Uber prank. It's fake.
He peaked in being cancelled when he ran a concert, promising it would be the next Coachella. Of course, everyone doubted that, but he heavily insinuated that Drake would be there.
That's how you know Drake's in LA. Hey Drake, OVO!
When in actuality, Drake was a bit busy. You know, performing somewhere where he'd actually get paid. FouseyTube proceeded to have a meltdown when there was a bomb threat that cancelled the entire event.
You're still talking about the little things. You're heating up your breakfast when I'm heating up my dinner.
Fortunately, it looks like he's doing a lot better mentally nowadays. And physically too, he's ripped. Bart Baker. He was very popular back in the day with his high production parody music videos. He wasn't cancelled per se, but this was the last time Bart was featured in Rewind before 2017 demonetization just killed his channel. So he eventually pulled a John Cena and went, "What's up, Beijing?" and rebuilt his following over in China. After this, he was labeled as a white monkey for preaching propaganda and singing about nationalism in China. He's tried to use that money to revive his channel after coming back to America, but it doesn't seem too hot right now with almost no posts in the past year. Nikki Limo. In this video was a Shane Dawson collaboration, which is now deleted. The premise of the video was to talk smack about whoever's name was brought up, focusing on names that definitely didn't deserve to be bashed on, such as Martin Luther King or Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old who lost his life from getting shot when he was walking back home from the convenience store. I'm surprised that they were able to communicate in this video, given how tone deaf the concept was. Jacqueline Glenn. She was caught out to have very blatant plagiarism. Hopefully these quite similar clips prove that she did.
60 seconds of background in case you've been living under a rock. So Kim Davis goes to the DMV, but the office manager won't authorize the renewal of her driver's license because he's a Muslim. This woman has sort of become the poster girl for so-called Christian persecution.
There was more evidence of her caught plagiarizing, so I'm a bit surprised that the internet didn't have a stronger reaction. She apologized and hasn't seemed to make the same mistake since, so But regardless,
Cancelled.
James Corden, an egotistical and terrible late-night talk show host, presented to have no respect. He got publicly rinsed by Sir Patrick Stewart for a valid reason, but James just couldn't swallow his pride.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go. Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on.
The punchline should have been his face, because this is definitely throwing hands proximity. He seems to be an overall rude, unpleasant character behind the scenes, and stories like this one shown comparing him and Harry Styles here aren't uncommon on the internet. So deservedly,
Cancelled.
Miranda Sings. The YouTuber behind Miranda Sings, Colleen, got under fire for sending lingerie to an underage fan. Okay, that sounds worse than it is, but here's why.
4 years ago, I did a live stream, and in this live stream, I did a giveaway. I was giving away clothes that were unused, tagged still on, brand new, that I had just bought but I did not want. One of the items that was in this box was a really ugly pair of underwear.
Maybe I'll send the ones I don't want to you guys. The panties from you.
And people started asking for them in the live stream.
Everyone wants that bra. You want the bra? Everyone wants the bra.
At the end of the live stream, I was done giving away clothes, and then this boy who made this video about me recently, he asked for the underwear.
He said, hi, you have ugly clothes, but I want those ratchet panties and bras signed by Corey because he modeled them well. Yeah!
It was so ridiculous and funny, we laughed about it, and I forgot to send them to him. And eventually he tweeted me asking me for them again. I sent them to him. He put them on over his clothes and posted about them. It was like a big joke within the fandom. I did this publicly. That live stream is still up right now, and I've always given out weird random things in live streams. I've given out a taco costume, I've given out old bobby pins, dirty shoes. I've always given away weird stuff, and so in my mind at the time, this was no different than all the other weird stuff I send to my fans as a joke. I don't know what part of my brain was missing at the time that I thought, oh, this is a normal silly thing to do. I should have realized and recognized how dumb that was and never sent it to him no matter how much he asked.
She also addressed other inappropriate things in the past, such as making content based on racial stereotypes and posting problematic ghost-written content, made by the same underage fan that got sent panties, by the way. She addressed the past, gave context, and sincerely apologized, and everyone quickly forgave her after this. Unfortunately, this doesn't revoke the cancel.
Cancelled.
Joey Graceffa. Joey was cancelled for a collaboration involving an already known Shane Dawson. This time it was blackface, and it was a classic call out and apology was issued. Harley Kloss. The model YouTuber dressed up for a Japanese shoot, featuring her in kimonos, geisha makeup, sumo wrestlers, and temples. Twitter did its thing, got angry, and she was cancelled. I would add Kimono Kloss to this guy's list of Asian ancestors.
Cancelled.
Rob Gavigan. This true crime YouTuber was unfortunate enough to have a bad last name that also happened to be a lesbian slur, so he got cancelled by a YouTube system. That's literally all it was. He got in trouble for essentially just existing, so he legally got his last name changed after. Lohanthony. In top 10 plot twists of the century, Lohanthony, an originally openly gay, now ex-YouTuber, turned to Christian celibacy and denounced same-sex relationships. People are questioning if he underwent conversion therapy given how he went from this.
It actually makes me laugh when people are like, God hates gays. Do you know him personally? Exactly. You're excused.
To this.
The topic is my sexuality and my call to Christian celibacy. Did God make me gay? Did God allow the situation to be? Did God force this struggle upon me? God gave me the answers that He is love no matter what, and that anything that we encounter other than that love is not of God.
He also constantly used the lingo of conversion therapy, like same-sex attraction, and that same-sex attraction is directly linked to childhood trauma and addiction. It's an issue when you start telling your audience that you had originally gathered around being openly gay, that it is now a sin that should be repressed or changed. It's like God got inspired by the character Hans from Frozen. Sorry, Lohanthony, and said, okay, you get a 180-degree character change for no reason. This is a bigger bait and switch than promising that Drake would be at your concert. I can already see how this would be a huge problem causing trauma and identity issues amongst his audience. This is why conversion therapy is illegal in some states. Considering he's graduated from childhood and holds a bachelor's in being able to make his own decisions as an adult, I hope he ends up in a place where he is genuinely happy and true to himself. Todrick Hall. He's a singer that got popular off American Idol and found success on YouTube. I wish he hadn't, because he definitely isn't someone that deserves it. I didn't even have to do that much research, he's writing his own cancellation. He basically cancelled himself by agreeing to be featured on Big Brother. It starts with him saying this completely out of left field.
Person, like shooting them out of nowhere and killing them only really affects their family. It doesn't, they're gone in 2 seconds. It would be better to torture that person that you didn't like if you wanted to get at them.
Why would you say this? He also comes across as disingenuous doing this on Cameo.
I don't make it too personalized because I do so many of them, so many thousands of them. So I'll be like, hi Cynthia, it's Todrick Hall. Thank you so much for watching my videos and listening to my music. It means the world to me. So Cynthia, hope you got your nails, hair, hips, and heels on, honey, because today it's all about you.
Aww.
Happy birthday, my love, and I hope to see you soon. And I literally say that exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
Every time.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why would you do this when you can be inspired by Dean Norris and put pieces of art like this into the world.
Walt, I don't know, man. You've been seeming sus lately. It's almost like we have an imposter among us. I saw that you wanted... Don't lie to me, Walt! You sussy baka!
Back on topic, it gets worse. Todrick also doesn't pay people who work for him, including dancers and makeup artists, for their work. And the thing that ties this indecent human being together is failing to pay rent on a house that he claimed he bought. He got sued for this, by the way. If it were up to me, I would be adding much more to the cancel counter, but one will have to do.
Cancelled.
Zoella. Zoella was an English beauty and vlogging channel with a brand that seemed like it could do no wrong. But alas, there was quite a bit wrong. Cracks were starting to show when she had a whole bunch of rude and mean tweets that she was sharing way back in 2010.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
This was a huge contrast to how she came across in her videos, as she was always an upbeat and bubbly character. The tweets just showed that there was more to her than she was letting on. She shared in her videos that it was a dream of hers to write a book. She was so nice that she was able to share this dream with someone else, as her first book allegedly involved a co-ghostwriter. Wait, did I say allegedly? It wasn't alleged, it actually happened. This wasn't even the worst thing. Eventually, she also went on to make a Christmas advent calendar, which she was basically scamming her fans of £50. The advent calendar was just filled with extremely cheap products. Once she got caught out for this, she went on to lie and said that the chain retail store Boots set the price.
Once that product is done and I'm happy with it, the retailer can decide how much they sell that for. That's completely out of my decision making. I don't have the right to make those decisions.
Boots went out to publicly respond and said, "We don't set the prices. You do." Like, come on. If you're going to lie point blank to your audience's face like that, have you considered? Don't. Easy.
Cancelled.
Cameron Dallas. Cameron got arrested for vandalizing an apartment with paint, but he also almost struck someone with a paint can by throwing it out the window from the 6th floor. But also, who just throws an empty paint can out a window? A few years later down the line, he was also arrested for assault, but this was for self-defense allegedly. Ray William Johnson. He battled a lawsuit way back in 2013 against copyright claims on his channel and settled it. Excellent. A dub for YouTube. But a few years later, ironically, he started copyright striking Hoover for making a critique video against him. PewDiePie picked this up in one of his videos, which made Ray William Johnson retract the copyright claim after that fact. Regardless, it was sketchy behavior for someone who was actively fighting against copyright in the past. Jenna Marbles. This would be the last rewind that she'd be featured in before she was cancelled by herself in 2020. She addressed her blackface that she used to imitate Nicki Minaj and making racial remarks about Asian people. Much like all her other YouTube colleagues on this list, this was just her ticking off her obligatory early days cancel moment on her bingo card of being a YouTuber. So it seemed extremely harsh when she decided to completely deplatform herself entirely, considering how much everyone could see that she had grown over the years. Please, Jenna, uncancel yourself and come back. We miss you. Rebecca Black. Rebecca is back for another appearance, this time apologizing for the time that she joked about the Holocaust, and of course, it was a collaboration with Shane Dawson. I've been conditioned to know that whenever Shane makes an appearance, something's about to go down. T-Pain. T-Pain was in pain after getting cancelled by his friend Usher. Usher told him that his music was ruining the industry with his autotune. What the hell is Usher talking about? Has he even listened to Apple Bottom Jeans? This put T-Pain in a 4-year-long depression. I know this wasn't a cancel on T-Pain, but I felt like it was worthy information to include. Out of this year's 133 featured YouTubers, there was a staggering amount of 16, but this time it felt like they were a lot more problematic.
Bring it.
Ah, Dwayne, you have no idea what 2016 is going to bring. Fleur de Force. This beauty vlogger came down with a generic case of COVID, the influencer kind, that showed her entitlement and selfishness. In short, she flew to Dubai during Boxing Day when it was definitely not necessary. It wasn't illegal, but it was very entitled, and rightfully, people were upset over it. It looks like for Christmas that year, she got the present of bad decision making. Colin Furs. In one of his much older videos, he attached a flamethrower to a scooter. He was arrested for possessing an object converted into a firearm. Heh, firearm. Blogilates. The general consensus of Blogilates is that she's moved away from initial good free workout content and programs to misinformation on muscle building, bad diet plans, as well as promoting not eating for 3 days. I'll provide links to people who break down exactly where and why Blogilates have gone wrong. She's got good intentions, but omits details or misinforms with objectively wrong information that people need to make proper decisions. Casey Neistat. This line would be enough to bring back the memories of the storm that came out of it.
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton.
The first half of the video wasn't that bad, encouraging people to vote. The issue came in the second half of the video where he was encouraging his audience to call out other content creators for not encouraging their audiences to vote. Dude Perfect. They got under fire after picking up a sponsorship from Qatar for World Cup 2022. It was extremely questionable considering the juxtaposition of the content of the video versus the context of the inhumane work conditions that led to the death of over 6,000 workers. Yikes. They since changed the video name to Bucket List Desert. They also allegedly deleted negative comments surrounding this video on Instagram and YouTube. Who knew that a channel that got famous for throwing balls could also get famous for throwing away their morals? PewDiePie. PewDiePie. I don't think anything needs to be said about this one. There was also this other Fortnite gamer moment when he got a bit too heated.
What a f***ing
Anyways, KSI. He got cancelled for using transgender slurs. He apologized, but then also used the slur again in said apology. And he got cancelled again. He got there the second time. The Gabby Show. I don't know where Gabby Hanna came from. She's one of those influencers that just kind of materialized, and I question, why does she deserve a platform? She's gone through a multiple number of issues, first one being stolen jokes. She really just looks at the internet and says, this is our joke. She also tries to abuse the copyright system and striking any channels that critique her. She basically also just beefs with everyone in the comments, including her fans, commentary channels, Trisha Paytas, sharing private information when she shouldn't have, and overall just not pleasant. Patrick Star. Patrick Star is mostly an unproblematic, stay in your lane makeup channel, so it's a bit unusual when he randomly starts stirring up drama. The theory of why he does this is that controversy draws attention to your channel, and then you can drop a product to boost sales. The rest of his makeup cohort, Tana Mojo, James Charles, Nikita Dragon, they all do this. However, when they do it, it's already in line with their personality. When Patrick does it, it's clashing with his own unproblematic brand image. It comes across as disingenuous, and fans can easily see through that, and it's called him out on it. You don't really need makeup to be seen as two-faced. Alfie Days. This English vlogger presented himself to be extremely out of touch, filming a vlog challenge of living on £1 a day. The issue was that he spent the entire day traveling around in a car and trying to skive off of the system by signing up for free fast food deals. This video basically spits in the face of people who are genuinely trying to survive under tight budgets by lamenting on missing out on his life luxuries. He since apologized, deleted the video, and pledged to donate money to a charity. Unbox Therapy. Unbox Therapy is probably the most problematic tech channel. I didn't even know you could get cancelled in tech. Don't you just kind of review products? Well, good thing Lou from Unbox Therapy is here to prove me wrong. On multiple occasions, may I add. He unveiled a ute of iPhones, and he was only confirmed to give away 9 of them. He said he had too many iPhones to possibly use. What do you do with the rest of them? Eat them? He also positively reviewed Pitaka, a phone case company. Flash forward to when Lou is about to release his own phone case. He removes this video and also issues a copyright strike against Pitaka, only to reveal his product Later Case a few days later, which is literally just a ripoff of Pitaka's. Lou must have liked it so much he copied every single aspect about it. You could find out where Lou sourced it from on Alibaba quite easily. It was the fact that he actively hid away Pitaka's product from his page while promoting his own, saying that he had designed them. Obviously and thankfully, the internet pieced this together and went, Later Case? More like, see you later, stinky. And very much more recently, he's been theorized to be viewbotting. Lou is now just the problems, keeps on giving. Liza Koshy, this ex-Viner vlog channel, had a video where she was eating snacks with David Dobrik. It's another case of lowbrow racism where they're just mocking Japanese people.
Japanese food, we're trying. Yeah, there we go.
Got cancelled and a generic apology ensued. Kyan Lawley from Kyan and JC. He was fired from a film adaptation of The Hate You Give after having been found saying the N-word and racist slurs. I love how poetic life is from the name of the project that he was fired from. He took the firing with grace, but nevertheless, still cancelled. Jackie Aina. This beauty YouTuber got cancelled when she released a brand of candle titled Sorosoke. She got slammed by Nigerian social media users, having denounced the candle fragrance name as insensitive. Turns out, she was boss ladiing a bit too hard. The slogan Sorosoke was associated with the Nigerian movement against police brutality, where deaths were involved. Honestly, with my lack of understanding of the context, it didn't click how bad it was for me until I read those tweets. It's the equivalent of using the phrase I can't breathe to market something from the Black Lives Matter movement, and that you are making a profit from. What makes matters worse is that she was actively blocking people on Instagram that were calling her out about this, until it got so out of hand that she issued an official apology. She started with trying to capitalism Sorosoke, but ended up just with a "so sorry that I got caught."
Cancelled.
Sakone Jollies. They're a family vlog channel where the parents have taken the innate human nature of wanting to protect and nurture their child, scrunched it up, and threw that out the window and said, what if we made money instead? They are literally sticking cameras into their children's faces when they need someone to look after them. I wouldn't be surprised if the children identified the cameras as their parents over whatever those human-looking being things are that operate them. Like, it's very obvious this child doesn't want to be filmed right now. It's not even just a DSLR. There's also CCTV cameras. Like, what? They're literally making the most budget Truman Show, but without the plot or the fact that it's, I don't know, fiction? With how things have unfolded, I'm uncertain if kids of Saucony Jolly family will ever be jolly.
Cancelled.
Manny Moi. Manny was cancelled for going down with a sinking ship that was James Charles by supporting him after his scandal, which I'll be talking about later. Raka Raka. A prank/stunt channel that took it too far, driving a car filled up to the brim with water.
We don't know, like with the police, what is the worst thing that could happen? We just get arrested, right?
He was eventually arrested and taken to court.
Or a $10,000 fine.
Hell, Satan!
Dua Lipa. Okay, not a YouTuber, but still featured, so I'll take it. She got copyright struck in real life with a lawsuit on her song Levitating. It seemed really bad on paper, with everyone having a lot of similar comparison.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. Don diablo se ha escapado, tú no sabes la que ha armado, ten cuidado, yo lo digo por sí. Moonlight, you're my starlight, I need you all night, party till sunrise now.
But it's also because that there's so many similar comparisons that the lawsuit would be in her favor. Otherwise, all musicians would be lawyering up for melodies and chord progressions. Ugh, that brings us to the end of 2016. That was a big year. Thank God we've only got 2 more years to go. 2017. The year was obviously starting to go sideways for YouTube Rewind. Lele Pons. This Vine star turned YouTuber does not have a good rep on the platform.
Ridiculous. I've seen some bad sketches. I've made some bad sketches. This was written by a 4-year-old. It has to be.
Probably true, because Lele sure acts like it. Exhibit A proof. She has been labelled as one of the rudest YouTubers I've ever met in person. This list was made and had included Logan Paul at the peak of his infamy, which really says something about Lele. Exhibit B. She was deleting content on her best friend's social media. Yes, because that's what best friends are supposed to do for each other, Lele. Good job. Woo. So when she had a terrible charity act about her hair, everyone jumped on it. The post of her promoting her own charity act was proof that she didn't have possession of her own hair, the hair that she promised to donate to cancer victims. She said she learned after she had cut it that charities don't accept color-treated hair, so she used hair extensions to show the length that she had cut off. Of course, given her track record, the internet doubted this. Marshmello. Marshmello got caught out of his collaboration Light It Up featuring Chris Brown because Chris Brown was convicted of assault against Rihanna and having multiple rape allegations since. In taking this collaboration, it's an implied endorsement of his actions. Marshmello made his morals mellow. Cancelled. Muscle K. This gaming YouTuber got dropped from an Australian Defence Force sponsorship when they found out he probably hit the G Fuel a bit too hard and started using intense gaming vocabulary they didn't like. They stated the material is offensive and has no place for any relationship with the Australian Defence Force or the Defence Organisation. Sorry, what? Do you know the demographic you're trying to advertise to? All I'm going to say is that the Australian Defence Force would lose their minds if they found out what these people would say in their Discord. It would suit the saying, swear like a sailor though. Saffron Barker. The English vlogger got caught out for how she addressed a train suicide in one of her vlogs.
Minutes, and instead it took me 4.5 hours. So that was amazing. So basically, obviously, it's really sad. Someone did get hit by a train, but it meant that I couldn't get home. And it wasn't just I just couldn't get home. It was just the most stressful thing. Like, they were doing no buses to help anyone. I was in an hour taxi line, stood in the cold for an hour taxi line, and then a train was going, and I was like, I don't want to wait another half an hour, so I went to get on the train.
If that's the first and only thing that you can think of where someone was in so much pain that they took their own life, you need to reconsider your values. Dan TDM, the Minecraft YouTuber, was cancelled for swearing. And that's pretty funny for a reason to be cancelled relative to everything else in this video. If that's the only reason he's getting cancelled, that's a testament to his character. That's regretfully wholesome. Ryan's Toy Reviews. The seemingly innocent toy review channel was accused of violating FTC law by the non-profit group Truth in Advertising. They were saying how sponsored videos were misleading as promotions were clearly stated enough. Unrelated to advertising, but of the same idea to Saucony Jollies, to what extent is this child labour? It doesn't seem like Ryan has any issues with being the face of the channel, but many have brought this attention to detail. Latoya Forever. This vlogger attacked her ex-best friend based on her race and features, describing her to be ghetto and have huge Donkey Kong lips. I don't know why or how she did this, but she turned on friendly fire mode and went off at her friend. If you really hate her, then you would come after her personality more than her physical appearance. This feels like a satire piece of media, but you can't make this stuff up. Uncle Ruckus is just sitting somewhere laughing. SSS Sniper Wolf. She's gotten in a lot of hot water on multiple occasions. Scrap that, she might as well just be chilling in a jacuzzi given how often she's been in hot water. You can tell where the internet stands with her after her interview with Good Mythical Morning was cancelled. Seems like no one's really a fan outside of her audience. She also seems to be a huge hypocrite talking about the beauty standards of other people, while simultaneously not embodying those values. And worst of all, she ghosted a dying fan. Sniper Wolf promised a meeting or video chat with a 10-year-old girl with cancer, but she never followed through on it. Philip DeFranco. He got messed up for taking the sponsor BetterHelp. People started to read through the terms of service of this sponsor and it did not look pretty. It turns out the sponsor is fine, they're still around on the platform, it's just that they needed to level up their wording in their terms of service. Comedy Shorts Gamer, or Deji. There was a huge controversy between KSI and Deji, to the extent of which Deji was accused of manipulating their parents to go against KSI. They had a constant back and forth of releasing videos calling each other out, kicking each other out of their houses, and attacking each other's friends. Both sides were hurting as no one gained anything out of this. They continued to have this tension over the next 3-year period. After KSI began to publicly show his support when Deji picked up boxing, Deji came around and admitted to his mistakes. They buried the hatchet after the YouTuber vs TikTok boxing event, so it was a happy ending. ASAP Science. They got caught out for using this thumbnail. They removed the video and apologized. Logan Paul. 3 words. Japan, forest, hat. That's all you need to know. Just kidding, he got updated with another patch with the keyword zoo. Just when we all thought he had moved on and redeemed himself from the previous boopsie, it comes to light he scammed his own fans of millions of dollars. Jake Paul. The other Paul brother that is just as problematic as this one, if not more. He was selling a course called Team 1000, which basically had the business model of getting rich kids to use their parents' credit cards to pay for a nothing course. He also trespassed into Arizona Mall where there was video evidence of him looting and vandalizing property. I'm genuinely happy that the police didn't do anything about this, because he got raided by the FBI instead. They found firearms on his property and he was arrested. Unfortunately, it doesn't end here. Also during COVID, he was holding parties. He also went to Puerto Rico and officials were investigating him for driving during a turtle's nesting season. Like, how can you hold so much disregard for everything around you? I'm kind of thankful that I'm not hearing more about him being problematic, a hindrance and a nuisance anymore on YouTube, because instead he's doing that in the boxing ring. The Fine Bros. Oh god, I did a whole video about this, but basically they did blackface, they had a really sketchy puppet show, they tried to trademark the word react, and had a terrible workplace culture that was inherently racist and sexist. Aspen Ovard. This vlogger couldn't handle hate, so she went on a blocking spree. But that's an issue when those haters are not haters and genuine fans.
We need to tell them the story. Me and Lexi used to be obsessed with Aspen and Parker.
Oh my
god! Aspen Ovard blocked us both on Instagram. We are both blocked from Aspen Ovard. I will show evidence.
Wait, actually.
There was this one outfit that she was wearing.
It wasn't even mean.
It was not mean. Like, we were genuinely wondering, like, what is she wearing? Because it wasn't a trend at the time.
I tagged Macy and I was like, what is she wearing?
And then I replied and I said, I don't know.
Blocked within an hour.
We were blocked so fast. Like, it was not being mean. We were just like, what is she wearing?
She was a bit too trigger happy with the block button. David Dobrik. The lifestyle vlogger would be cancelled on multiple occasions. First one being with Liza, as discussed earlier. The second being a lot of internal vlog squad issues that he had formed. And notably, of course, the terrible event that would tie this entire bundle together would be the crane incident. Wolfie Ent. This YouTuber basically cheated on a high schooler. He got caught red-handed exchanging DMs and they had photo evidence of them being together, but he still actively denied it. Ugh, how do people get away with this stuff? It's Alex Clark. The Storytime animation YouTuber would be cancelled when he leaked Jaden's animation's face without consent.
And then
He was basically just trying to monetize Jaden's face without consent, which showed his true colors. Out of the 240 YouTubers that were featured this year, only 19 were cancelled. Now it's time to head for the final boss.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Will Smith.
Cancelled.
Nick A30. Nick is a Fortnite YouTuber that has the brand of one of the more nicer / family friendly personas. So it was a big shock to everyone when he cheated at a charity event. There were clear rules of drop areas and where people were not allowed to start in, that everyone understood. Here's a clip of Nick and his partner actively talking about breaking the rules by planning to land in an off-limit part of the map before the game even starts.
Because remember, we get a warning. We don't get
plays
pushed
all
forward,
around
then we
this
just go
area.
back
That's
in.
Stevie Sachs, as does Nate Hill.
It's not a bad thing.
Him land here.
No, it can't be that obvious, dude. It can't be that obvious.
This gave them a very obvious tangible advantage in the game, and they went on to place 6 out of 15, winning 30k for his selected charity. This led to the community viewing him as shady and having no integrity. It's the equivalent of cheating at a parent-student sports day. You have nothing to gain. This is supposed to be something fun and for good. I'd never thought I'd see the day where I had to check off the bingo card that we'd have dirty money coming from a Fortnite charity event, but here we go. Gaming with Kev, a Roblox YouTuber that did a very not cash monies thing. He was stealing multiple thumbnails from Dennis Daly and Mr. Flimflam, which went on to do better than the originals. No, not the plagiarized essay getting better marks than the original. Other Roblox players started calling him Stealing with Kev. Hey, nice one Roblox community, that's good. The Try Guys. The Try Guys are a comedy group that try a variety of things. One of their now ex-member Ned Fulmer decided to try infidelity. Ned, who branded himself as the guy who loves his wife, was always very vocal about it. Suspiciously much so. The woman that he cheated on was an employee. Ned was 10 years in a marriage with 2 kids and had the scene of a perfect family. And Alex, the woman Ned had been doing the cheating with, had been with her boyfriend from 11 years and was engaged to be married. I don't know why Alex decided to go with Ned. He's like the Wish equivalent of her fiancé. So in Ned cheating, he screwed over his wife, his kids, as well as his friends and the company. Lily Singh, an OG YouTuber that created skit content surrounding typical brown culture parenting. She's one of the few people that ventured away from YouTube, only to get burnt by the blazing sun that is network television. And I was happy for her when she announced it. However, I don't think she'd be this excited if she knew the poop storm that she was getting herself into. Ultimately, the show was terrible for these reasons. The humor was repetitive and based around her race, gender, and sexuality. There was the constant reliance of the laugh tracks. The content was terribly scripted.
Give him a call. He actually has no idea I dressed up as him.
Hey, Lily,
what's up?
Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh my god, are you serious?
And she also got cancelled for a turban joke at one point. This was all because she booked herself into a schedule of 96 episodes in 3 months. To be able to get to this level of quantity, she was definitely overwhelmed and overworked, working at least 14 hours a day. It got so bad she turned to her success as a defense.
In the last decade, I've gained about 15 million subscribers. I've written a book as well. You've written many, but I've written a book, and I know it's hard. Writing a book is very hard. He could leave his family and come live with me at my house. I'm probably gonna be making all the money anyway. I have a lot of money.
Which came across to me as needing some form of self-validation more than anything. Basically, she dug herself into a hole and doubled down on it. With how deep she was into it, maybe if she kept digging, she'd end up in China. So that ended her stint on TV with her getting cancelled. Emma Chamberlain. One of the biggest vloggers on the platform, she got caught out by fans when she released her clothing line low-key. The issue was items were pixelated and blurred, and the items were so expensive for the most basic of things. Honestly, I love buying things that I can't see. It makes it feel more fun because it feels like gambling. Hahaha, cancelled. James Charles. James will get into multiple dramageddons, yada yada yada, that involve Tati Westbrook, Shane Dawson, and Jeffree Star, yada yada. Aha! The worst thing that made James Charles one of the most hated YouTubers on the platform, 3rd most disliked on YouTube by the way, for grooming allegations. There was definitely sexual misconduct, with James pressuring 2 16-year-olds to send explicit photos on Snapchat. Overall, a yucky horrible situation that I won't go into more details about.
Cancelled.
Baby Shark. Baby Shark has a dark history that a lot of people don't know about. Most people only know about it from the viral video that's sitting on 12 billion views. However, it originated as a campfire song, where it was supposedly created by a camp counselor inspired by the movie Jaws. In the original, much darker version, the sharks are introduced and proceed to attack humans, and each new line is a body part being disembodied, with it leading to people trying to use CPR to save those who are attacked and eventually death. Johnny Only was DJing it up at a kids camp and saw how hyped kids got around this song. He went on to become a children's entertainer and took this song and made it much more family friendly. 5 years later, Smart Study will go on to produce the horror that we now know. Johnny is taking the case to Korean courts to find out who has the rights to this version of Baby Shark. The South Koreans court ruled that as it's a children's song handed down via oral traditions, due to that it's not copyrightable. That's a lot of behind the scenes drama for a kid's song. That was the last thing/person to be cancelled in 2018 Rewind. So you must be wondering, that was the last official YouTube Rewind. Why is there still more in this video? Well, that's because there's a whole nother genre of YouTubers that I haven't covered. It's time to go international, Mr. Worldwide if you will. For some reason, there was a distinct lack of English articles for these YouTubers. Rude. So I had to trudge through international articles and/or I had to translate pages through Google. Sorry if I mispronounce any of these names, it's not that I'm uncultured, I'm just dumb. I didn't know any of these YouTubers and you probably don't too, so let's just do this as quick as possible. Norman Thavord, an OG French YouTuber, was accused of sexual violence. Sin, a makeup YouTuber. She went out of her way to cause drama with lesbian cosplayers, which led her to be ejected out of the community. She also used slurs when doing makeup tutorials for Audrey Hepburn, insulting her while doing makeup to look like her. VRZO, this popular Thai comedy channel got cancelled when one of the YouTubers promoted her mum's skin product, saying it would cure strokes and leg bow. People lost it over these exaggerated claims. BBK Vines, an Indian comedian that got under fire for objectifying women. Yukilop, a Mexican vlog channel where some kind of sleeping scandal was involved, I don't know, I tried to read this article and I struggled. Technical Guruju, an Indian tech channel that was accused of accepting payments but not disclosing it and was called out for having biased tech reviews. McFly and Carlito, a French duo that was accused of sexism in one of their songs called TikTok Girl. Dottie TV, a Korean YouTuber that was accused of not disclosing sponsorships when they were featured in their videos. Enes Batur, he's the reject shop of viral Western YouTube content. He literally just takes viral videos and reproduces it with his own face in Turkish. Fisher, it was a Japanese comedy group where one of the group members was found to have an inappropriate relationship with a fan. After this, he was no longer featured on the videos, but continued to work as an editor. The Japanese audience was very disappointed in their lack of response. All India Backchod. 2 members of this comedy group were removed after they were publicly named in the Me Too movement. Porta dos Fundos, a Brazilian comedy group that made a Christmas special featuring a gay Jesus Christ. The trailer of this special bombed and everyone got so upset they threw a Molotov at the group's workplace. Your Stop. This Mexican YouTuber got arrested for under possession of explicit child content charges. Sai Hilintar, part of the Indonesian YouTuber group Jen Hilintar, trivialized a suicide attempt and included it in his LA vlog. Last but not least, Yuka Kinoshita. She was cancelled for eating 137 bananas. I don't know, Chinese internet is weird. And we've done it. That should be every single cancelled YouTuber featured in Rewind. Let's assess the final damages. If we add up all the cancelled YouTubers that we've had over the years, this is our final count. And if you factor in that there were 662 unique YouTubers, that leads to a cancel rate of 12.7%. That is over 1 in 8 YouTubers. That's pretty damn high. So what can we actually take away from this video? If you see a collab with Shane Dawson, you know where it's going. Just close the video and run. But on a more serious note, social media just amplifies whatever personality you might already have. Unfortunately, sometimes it just gives bad people a platform to do horrible deeds they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. But for the most part, the rest of the YouTubers have been unproblematic and have been doing awesome stuff. I would sincerely like to thank all the YouTubers who are doing the right thing and have never gotten involved in drama over the years. You guys are the real backbone of YouTube. And that's it for this video. I've already been working on it for a greater part of a month. It's now time for me to just clock out and go to sleep. Bye!